Hiya, we're gonna make one of my favorite summer recipes. All you need are some tomatoes, cucumbers, onion, some vinegar, salt and pepper, water, olive oil, and a couple hours in the fridge, so a container to put it in. Okay, so it doesn't have to be a fancy container, just something that will have a lid is preferred. So we have that all washed up. Okay, so I know this recipe has specifics as far as balancing everything, but really what I want you to know is that it doesn't have to be that fancy. As if you've been on this channel, you know that's kind of my theme. It's whatever you have. Even my cucumber here has seen better days, but that's okay. It's still good inside. And we're just going to peel that so that it's all ready. And of course I have a fancy thing here and it's not on the right one. So let's get it to the right one. If not, you can always use a knife. That's actually my preferred way because these sometimes don't work for me. So I'll show you how we do it with a knife. So you just take off the skin. Obviously, the more firm it is, the easier that it comes off. You try to leave as much of the flesh as possible. So I had my peeler on the grating because I had just gotten done grating some fresh Parmigiano Reggiano, so I had forgot that I had not put it to the right setting for the peels. So we're just gonna do it this way. This is the way I used to watch my grandmother do it. So again, this cucumber, a lot of people would have probably thrown away. The outside was starting to get a little wrinkled, but the inside is still good. Just makes it a little harder to peel is all because it's not quite as firm, and that's okay. Again, this is a no fuss recipe, so we're just not gonna worry about a thing. And if there's a little bit left on there, in fact, I'll leave that on there, go ahead if you don't mind that. Again, it's just no fuss. So what we're gonna do with this is we're just going to chop it up. You can have it as thick or as thin as you like. You can leave them in circles or you can stack them up and make them in slices. You could make them kind of long if you like spears. Let me just show you what I do if I do want to half these. I'm not going to be that fussy, but I will show you in case that's a preferred method for you, or prefer bite size for you depending on who your audience is. Okay, if you have little ones, you might want to do that. And all we're going to do is we're going to toss these in. I'm gonna leave mine whole because I like mine a little thicker. You can make these super thin too, and it just changes the texture. Okay, so there, we're done with that. Then we're gonna go to our onion. If you saw my video, a previous one where I made some stock, I used a lot of onion. That was a white onion. I have to say this one is one of my favorites. This is a sweet Vidalia onion. Living in Georgia, they grow a lot of onions and you can actually smell them if you're going for a walk through a park. There's these little wild onions and you can just smell it in the air. And I do, this always reminds me of that. Of course, always being out in nature is one of my favorite things. All right, so this one I decided instead of using the yellow onion, I wanted to use the sweet Vidalia onion for this one. So I'm just gonna clear off my space, my little cooking space I have for you. And what I'm gonna do here is you can make them as thin as you want. I'm not gonna cut all the way through because I'm just gonna kind of, again, no fuss. We're not being chefs here. But we're going to then turn it on its side and kind of make them bite-sized pieces here. And it's all about using up what you have. I will cut the rest of this. And again, since this does have some vinegar in it, you can leave the pieces kind of in exciting different shapes, or you can practice your knife skills if that's what you're into, and you can make them all uniform. Practice your dicing. Okay, again, I like to keep it no fuss just for myself. I'm not, this is just for me, for my summer meal. So then we have little tomatoes. You can use any tomatoes that you get at either your farmer's market, your grocery store. Just make sure that they're washed. When I use these little tomatoes, which is mainly what I like to get, although it is the season for friends sharing their tomatoes. So if you have bigger tomatoes, just cut them. I don't usually cut them when they're these small tomatoes, so we'll just do that for sake of time. You get the picture. And that's the main thing, is to show you this recipe and share some time with you. Okay, so that's gonna be my tomatoes. I have just a few more of a, so let me put some more of those in there. Okay, and then I do have some vinegar here. What I like to do is this vinegar can go right in, or you can put your spices in here. So we don't have a lot of spices with this. We have salt and pepper, some olive oil, sugar, and of course the water. So let's go ahead and we're gonna do some cracked pepper. I'm gonna do it right into the vinegar. You can always put more later. That's what I like about these recipes of old, is that it was just really what you had. Okay, so whatever you had, this is some Himalayan salt. We're just gonna put just a little bit. And that's the other nice thing that I like about this is when you buy store-bought, you are stuck with what they put in it, whether it's additives, preservatives, and when you do it yourself, you know exactly how much is in there and what's in there. So if you can't have salt, or you use a salt substitute, go ahead. If you don't like yours quite as sweet, then don't make it as sweet. That's what I absolutely love about being able to make things yourself. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the oil, some olive oil on there, about 1/4 of a cup, maybe just a little bit more there. That gives you your fats. And then this is our vinegar mixture. Okay, we're gonna stir that up. And I'm just gonna use my measuring, again, no fuss. It'll be less dishes for you. Okay, just let that dissolve just a little bit. It's gonna dissolve when it sits in the refrigerator for 1 to 2 hours. So don't, again, be too particular. In fact, I could have just dumped it all in. No worries. But we're just showing you a couple different ways that you can do it, and you can decide what you prefer. And then this is the water, about a cup of water. and it's going to take a nice bath in that liquid mixture. Okay, so again, I'll just say the recipe. We have some tomatoes, cucumbers, and onion, and that ratio is 3:1. And then you have half a cup of vinegar, a little bit of pepper, I should say 1 portion pepper to 2 portions salt, but adjust as you need to. 1 cup of water, 1/4 a cup of olive oil, and chill 1 to 2 hours. So what I'm gonna do is top it off with, I like a little extra pepper. I'm gonna top it off with some pepper here. And you could put oregano in there if that's a flavor you like. Just use what you have. Little salt and pepper on the top for me. And then you can always adjust too after it's been sitting if you feel like it needs more onion or it needs more tomato or cucumber if you have it, and that's what you want to put in it. This is also one of those recipes too that is fun to do with children. Get them, comfortable with cooking and fixing food for themselves. They tend to like it a lot more. And again, it doesn't have the preservatives in it. So this is why I use this type of container. You could use any container. I had a glass container I almost used, but I thought this would be easier to shake for you on the video. All right, and so now we're just gonna leave that, and then you can add to it throughout the week. So just like I said with my broth recipe, where I'm gonna put in chicken or just throw in different things into my bowl, not into my base. With this, what I'll probably do is, if it lasts all day today, this isn't, this could be a meal. But is if I have some left over, I'll keep adding to it now that I have the base in there. And I'll put some mozzarella in there, maybe some feta in there. But I won't, again, put it in this base. I'm gonna put it in my bowl, so my bowl can slightly change throughout the week as I'm eating with this. And but I'm not necessarily changing the base, and that's how I like to cook, because then you're getting a little variety and you're getting to use up what you have, but you have a nice solid base that took you hardly any time at all. All right, everyone, if you make this recipe, let me know if you enjoyed it and what changes you made. Thank you and have a great day.